Welcome, fellow bookworms, to Tibra's Den. My name is Whitney, and today I have not only my 2023 goals, but I want to go over what my goals were for 2022 and how I did on those goals. So that is what we are going to be doing today. We have the dog, so this is Anya, in case you're new here, and then Nidra is the one that just laid down. And so they're just going to be hanging out while we go over this. So we'll go ahead and start with my 2022 goals. So my first goal for last year was to complete my Nora Roberts collection. So Nora Roberts is my favorite author. If you've been following my channel, you've heard it enough times now, but for those of you who are new, my favorite author. And so my main goal, I wanted to get all her backlist of books. Like, I wanted every book she had ever published. Now granted, some of them are like republished. They're in, they're kind of in the collected works and such. I just wanted each title. And I did complete that goal. I completed that fairly early on. Like, once I set my mind to it, we got it. There was one book, Promise Me Tomorrow, that I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get. And because it's hard to find. And people were charging way too much money for it. I did pay more money than I probably should have, but I did get it. And so yeah, her work, I have her complete collection of works to date. Obviously she's still publishing, so she normally publishes twice a year, like one standalone and then one like series book. And so I know that there's a standalone coming out early this year. And so I'll obviously get that when it comes out and such. But to date, her collection is complete. So that I can check off that goal. The next was to read the books that have been on my shelves for years and years and on haul what I don't like. I didn't do well on either aspect of that goal. I do have a box of books to unhaul, but I haven't unhauled them yet. And initially I was picking, a couple each month to read. And then I kind of got out of that because there were so many other books that I wanted to read. So I kind of ended up not sticking to that at all. And so those books are still sitting there. I thought about going through them and go ahead and unhauling the ones that just didn't sound interesting to me. But there were some that I read that I probably would have unhauled if I did it that way, and I actually enjoyed. So I decided I'm going to keep them, and I am going to try to get to them throughout this next year, hopefully. But yeah, I did not stick to that goal, so that one was a fail. And then the next one was to complete my ABC Author Challenge. I failed that. Like, I am so close. I did a good job. I am super close on completing it. I have two more that I haven't even started and one that I'm almost finished with. So there's only three more books. And like I said, one of those books I'm almost finished with. So I am hoping to complete that in January. I just had big plans in October and in December and November because I was off the tail end of October's big plans. I didn't read a whole lot, so I didn't get any read then. And so yeah, I still need to complete those three. So I almost got that goal, but I didn't quite do it. But I'm still going to call that a win because I got the majority of the books read. So, and then read all the 25 days of Bookmas books. So in 2021, my husband, for Christmas, I had him and my sister-in-law, they went to the thrift store and they picked out 25 books and I opened one each day. And then I was planning on reading them throughout the year. And some of them were like later on in the series, so I got the books that came before them in the series, that way I could start at the beginning. And so I ended up not finishing that. There was some that I kind of started and decided I just wanted to hold off on. And then there were like three or four that I just never ended up getting to. I'm still planning on reading those ones, but again, I had big plans and they just didn't quite fit into them. So I am still planning on finishing up those books, but I did not do it in 2022. So, and then I was gonna do a kind of a book buying ban. So don't buy books minus, completing my Nora Roberts collection. if there was a book that was part of a series that I was reading, I could buy those books. And then children's books, for like my Throwback Thursdays and such. Those were the exceptions. I 2022 was a rough year for me, and I just decided, you know what? No, like book buying is kind of like my version of self-care. Like other people, get their nails done or get their hair done or whatever the case may be. Book buying's it for me. And so yeah, I kind of threw that completely out of the window. So that was a big fail. And then finished Throwback Thursday of my old childhood books. I would say that that's done. There might be like one or two books that I didn't get to. Um, but most of the ones I didn't get to are actually books that my sisters gave me and I never read as a child. I read the ones, I read all my horse books, I read the dog books. Um, my other childhood favorites, like I read all those, so I'm gonna count that one as a win, even if there's maybe a few that I didn't quite get to. I think I did well on that, so I'm counting that as a win. And then the last one was to work on my website. So I did have a website. I don't have it anymore. It was just too much work. Like I wasn't enjoying it. I was having to force myself, and then you're paying for it because I didn't do. I wanted the perks of paying for it instead of having like a free one where you have to like I don't know. Anyway, regardless, I decided not to keep up with that, so I don't even have my website anymore. So that's a fail. So I did complete one. I'm going to count the ABC Author Challenge because I was so close, and the main goal was to at least, try to make progress on that. So I'll count that too, and the three finish my Throwback Thursdays. So I'll say I did good on 3 out of the 7. So not a great accomplishment in 2022, but am happy with what I did accomplish overall. So and then for my goals, as far as this next year goes for 2023, hopefully it's a better year for me. My main goal, I want to expand my horizons as far as genres go. I mean, I kind of jump around, like I don't stick to a particular genre, but there's definitely genres that I shy away from, and I kind of just want to expand my horizons. So I am doing Genreathon for the year of 2023, which each month is just going to have different prompts for different genres. So for like January, it was New Year, New You. So read either a self-help type book or a book that teaches you something new that can teach you to do something new, like a do-it-yourself book, or it could be you're learning about a new culture, something that teaches you something new. And so I went with the self-help route, and I'm reading Divergent Minds by Jenara and Nerenberg, and I'm really excited for that. It's about neurodiversity and um, like different aspects of it. But I am autistic, and it's mainly geared towards women, so I'm really excited to read that and hopefully find some tips and such to just help me do a little better in the world. And so that's one of my main goals. The second main goal is to read more classics. So a lot of the classics like I was aware of, but because I kind of knew the story just from people talking about it or from movie adaptations, I never really had an interest in reading them. Um, but that being said, following other booktubers and such who do read classics and listening to them talk about them, it's like I kind of feel like I'm missing out a little bit. And so I have read a few classics this year and really actually enjoyed them overall. And so I do want to kind of do more of that. I listened to A Christmas Carol by Dickens, but I got a physical copy of that to read this next year. I would like to read more by Charles Dickens. I got Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and I'm just gonna get others as well as I go along. So that's another goal of mine. The third goal is kind of anti-reading. I become really hyper focused when I'm doing something. Like I get so hyper focused, like there's not room for anything else. And I definitely saw that this past year with reading, and just all my focus went to books. And so this year I really want to kind of slow it down. I mean, I read a lot this year, don't get me wrong, and it was amazing. but I do kind of want to dial it back a little bit and take time for some of my other hobbies, some of the other things that I do enjoy doing, and not just be so hyper focused on books and on reading. So that's the next one. The next goal is to be like, I'm not doing a book buying ban. That did not work for me. But this year I went to the thrift store a lot, and when I at the thrift store I just browse and I just find titles that catch my eye, and then if it sounds like something I would enjoy, I go ahead and pick it up. I really want to be more mindful about the books I'm picking up instead of adding a mass amount to my shelves like I did this year. I want to be very focused, like books that I'm actually interested in, which you can find, those books at a thrift store for sure. Like I found a lot of popular titles and books that are have been on my wish list at the thrift store. So I just want to be more focused instead of just like, oh, that looks interesting. Let me pick it up. I'm going to be more focused on books that I've actually heard about and I really am interested in picking up. Not to be said that I won't get books that catch my attention, because you can find some really amazing books that way, but I'm just going to be a little bit more choosy, is how I want to go forward. So I'm not just adding a mass amount of books to my shelves because I can get 10 books for $5, or 20 books for $5 or whatever. I just want to be a little bit more choosy about it, and then actually do the unhaul of the books I no longer want. Like I said, I have a box sitting there ready to go. I just kind of need to go through it, write them down, and such, and take them to where I want to take them to. And so I need to actually unhaul those. So that's a goal, not only early on this year with what I already have set aside, but throughout the year as well. And then interact with the booktube community a little bit more. I did my first buddy read with B from Mama Needs to Read Romance. We're actually doing another one. It's the second in the series in January. And I don't know, I really enjoyed connecting with her and talking about the book we read together. And so I want to connect more and just be more interactive, because I'm not very interactive. Like, um, I like watching and I like doing my own thing. So I do want to be a little bit more interactive, do more tags this year. I did do several tags last year, and it was really fun, to interact with people through the tags. I don't think read alongs or readathons are going to be my thing overall, because, again, I become so hyper focused. Like I did Amy at A Star Reads her bingo board for Halloween, and I ended up reading a ton of books because I was just like, originally I started off, I was just gonna do the two lines and leave the rest, and that would be fine. And then I ended up, I gotta, fill every prompt because I just became so hyper focused on it. So, I'm really gonna struggle with that, but maybe I can, pick a prompt, like maybe do the year long, like the buzzword and such, things like that. Maybe I can manage to work in, um, but I do just want to be more interactive in general. And the last one is I am doing a reading journal for the very first time, and I'm also doing my first TBR game for the year of 2023, and I want to make sure I keep up with both of those. I don't see the TBR game being a problem because I'm really, really enjoying it. And so, yeah, I don't see that being a problem, but I do see myself slacking on my reading journal. So I really want to make sure I keep up with both of those as well. So that is it for my goals, and I really did not do well in 2022. So hopefully I can knock out the majority of the goals for 2023. But that is it for this video. Let me know your number one goal for 2023 down in the comments below, and I will go ahead and leave you guys here. Happy reading, everyone. Bye.